Appeal Court judgment confirms Ighodalo as PDP candidate in Edo State. I can understand now. I know that Justice Omotosho of the Federal High Court Abuja already affirmed, or in his judgment, affirmed Ighodalo as the authentic governorship candidate and upholding the primaries conducted by Obaseki's faction of PDP in Edo State. I remember when they were doing that primaries, it was two factions. Obaseki had his own faction with Ighodalo as the candidate, while Philip Shaibu had his own faction as himself as the governorship candidate or aspirant for that faction. And at the end of the day, it was the primaries conducted by the governor's faction, Obaseki and Ighodalo, that the INEC and everybody upheld, and that was challenged in court. Okay, Federal High Court Abuja under Justice Omotosho ruled that Ighodalo is the authentic governorship candidate, and then it was Philip Shaibu had to challenge that case at appeal court. Now appeal court has nullified that appeal and still sustained or upheld Ighodalo as the governorship candidate of the PDP. So it means that Philip Shaibu has lost again at the appeal court. So is he going to go to Supreme Court? That we don't know yet. So let's dive into the details. Appeal Court's certified true copy judgment confirms Ighodalo as PDP's candidate. Another judgment has been, and the CTC just came out. In a decisive ruling delivered on July 22nd, 2024, the Court of Appeal in Abuja reaffirmed Dr. Ighodalo as a validly nominated governorship candidate of the People Democratic Party (PDP) for the upcoming Edo State governorship elections. So in a certified true copy of the judgment dated 8th of August 2024, the court dismissed the appeal filed by the former Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu, who had challenged the May 27th judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja given by Justice Omotosho. So the appellate court, presided over by a panel including Justice A.M. Lamido, Tunde Awotoye, and Patricia Mahmood, unanimously upheld the lower court's decision, asserting that Shaibu's case was both premature and without merit. Bagam. So Shaibu's case was premature and without merit. So after the judgment was upheld, the certified true copy just came out August 8, 2024, to uphold that judgment that Philip Shaibu is not the authentic candidate, is Ighodalo that is the authentic PDP candidate. So what it means here is that Philip Shaibu has lost again at the appeal court. The question is whether Philip Shaibu is still going to go to Supreme Court. Sometimes I wonder how they cannot just let case go like this. This is not a case of they that carry your property, or that taking your wife and children from you, or that closing your bank account. This is just a case of aspiring to be the governor. And, the thing is not going your own way, and you cannot just let it be and either wait for another time or just go and look for another office to hold. They keep spending money, dashing money to lawyers, just carrying costs from lower court to middle court to the Supreme Court. How much money do they have? Is it because the money they have all garnered from government purse, from public fund, is what is giving them this impetus to do what they are doing? The thing gets as it be, I'm telling you. Sometimes I wonder how these people think. With the more people's money that they have taken over the years, they use it to also, force themselves into power. Because what I see here, Philip Shaibu is trying to force himself into power. That's what I see here. Because if you go and sample Edo people's opinion, you will see that people don't really like him so much because of his desperation and all of that. And even some people are still blaming Obaseki anyway. That look, it was this Philip Shaibu that helped you to secure your second term in Edo State as governor. Why not just also allow him to go? But what I think is happening here, Obaseki is not comfortable having Philip Shaibu to succeed him. Because Philip Shaibu is like one man squad, very, very, in fact, he looks more like a tyrant. He can get there now and begin to deal with Obaseki. Obaseki will never trust him. Because the fact here remains that whatever Obaseki did to Oshomole to break the godfatherism, I'm telling you, it was Philip Shaibu that helped him to break out of godfatherism of Oshomole. So he knows that the same Philip Shaibu will never be loyal to him when he finally leaves that office as governor and hand over to Shaibu. So and that is what all the governors try to do. They want to hand over to someone that they trust, someone that will be loyal to them, someone that will not go after them or change everything they have done overnight after they must have left office. The same fight that is happening between Wike and Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State. Okay, if you look at what is happening, the same godfatherism problem. Siminalayi Fubara behaved like a goat from beginning to the end of the process, and Wike was so comfortable giving the governorship to Fubara, thinking that the job is done and Fubara will never misbehave. Now Fubara has turned tiger. And why did Fubara turn tiger? Because of the high-handedness of Wike trying to dictate for him. You gave him all the members of House of Assembly. State House of Assembly. You still gave him all the commissioners, appointees, and you still controlling the local government chairman, and you're still dictating for Fubara how much he had to spend in a month and how much must come to you. No. And when Fubara saw how much IGR the state was generating, how much is available for state to use, and how much was going to Wike's pocket, he said, no, we can't run this system like this. He changed. He changed by force. So with this kind of disloyalty, in Edo State, Obaseki was scared that, look, if I hand over this government to Shaibu will eat me raw. So I have to look for somebody that will be loyal, that will will not frustrate me when I leave office. That is just what is happening there. And Philip Shaibu is so desperate that his desperation can also be scary to a normal mind. That is it. So I'm sure Obaseki has to use the power of governor, the executive power of governor, to make sure he deflates Shaibu to the last level. Make sure he has no air in him again to breathe. No wonder Shaibu ran to APC, even though he defected from APC to PDP with Obaseki at the early stage. So what we see now is that Ighodalo is still being sustained by the appeal court as the governorship candidate of PDP for the upcoming Edo State election. So whether Philip Shaibu is going to challenge this case at the Supreme Court is what we don't know. But I know election is just by the corner. 3 weeks plus 3 weeks, that is about 6 weeks around the corner. So there is nothing they can do. Even the reinstatement of Shaibu as the Edo State Deputy Governor is still, they have vowed never to, they have challenged that judgment at the appeal court. And I know that Shaibu will not smell that office until the end of this tenure. I think that case is put somewhere around October, and that is after the governorship election. This wonder shall never end. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comment over this loss of Philip Shaibu to the Ighodalo from the appeal court.